Welcome back, our timeless listeners. This is episode 3 of Timeless Talk. I am your host, AJ, and across from me, as always, I got my co-host, ArmShark.
Hey, guys.
And tonight's topics, we're actually going to have 2. We're going to be talking about fear.
What is fear exactly? Is it something pre-programmed into our heads that once we feel this uncomfortable feeling, we've been programmed to think that it's fear?
And then we're also we're gonna branch off into the second topic of the evening, which is going to be flat Earth, and fear of venturing into the unknown and the unexplored,
and the
pushback. How those two
connect,
and the pushback, exactly.
Right. Pushback from society, from your friends, from your family, any kind of innovative way of thinking, any kind of different way of thinking. There's a fear about it because it's unknown.
And a lot of people, it's true. It's like the idea for this the topic of fear, by the way, just so you guys know. It came to me when I was thinking about pain. I remember how I quickly mentioned to ArmShark in episode 1. I was talking about how pain can be a figment, supposedly, of signals from the imagination.
Fear. Basically, you were saying fear is like people are afraid what they don't know, what they're not educated on.
Yeah.
And it's typical. It's common. It's nothing wrong to have that feeling. What we're basically saying is that, is it really fear? Or is the word fear like a semantic that was pre-programmed into our psyche?
And that's interesting. Now that I'm glad you say that, because this is what I think sparked this interest in you. Is when I did mention that, right? Like I said before, back in episode 1, I mentioned the thing about pain. You said it threw you off. Is that what sparked that for you? Or?
Totally.
It is, right? Is that what's...
Yeah. It got me thinking, because I haven't actually considered it, until recently when I'm like...
And it makes sense what you're saying, because think about it. Just like I said with pain, it's a signal. Like I told you, you might get a flesh wound or a shot or something. You might not realize it right away. You don't feel the pain until you realize it, and then those signals get sent to that spot or that origin of where the pain would be, right?
Right.
It's almost like the same thing with fear. Maybe you're not scared until you recognize, right? Something triggers it in your brain where your signals send that fear emotion through your body. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, right? So maybe we're programmed to believe that, or programmed that triggers. That's what I'm trying to get at this. That's what I'm trying to go with this. It's triggers. Maybe it's something that you see, hear, or do that triggers the fear, right? Because we've been, like you said, programmed or hardwired to feel this emotion that might not even actually be real.
Totally. And it's like, okay, let's say, obviously your emotion, your feeling is real, but is it really fear? I mean, do we feel the same way when we're about to get in a fight, right?
Yeah.
That adrenaline,
that's the word.
That fear of the unknown. Is that really fear? It kind of feels the same. You know what I mean? Like, also, when you're really scared, you're putting out this energy where other people can feel it. You know what I mean?
Vibes are strong. That's to go off of what you just said. Vibes are very strong. They could be positive vibes, angry vibes, happy vibes, sad vibes. In this case, scared vibes, fear vibes. Vibes of fear, of uneasiness. Right? If you're gonna put it that way, let's just take the word fear out of there for a second. Uneasiness. They can feel it around you, and that makes other people around you nervous, right? Or make them feel uneasy. Even like, whoa, why is this guy? It's putting you, especially when you're a stranger, it almost puts them at such an unease where they don't even feel comfortable being around you. Like, hey, I don't know, this guy might snap on us, might flip on us, type deal. You know what I mean? You don't know. So that could be one of the negative, reactions to fear. Is that, like you said, people around you will feel it, and it makes them feel like, oh shit, dude, this guy, I don't know about this guy.
Yeah. So okay, what if there's a pill or there's a surgery to
remove the emotion?
Right, dislodge that chemical.
They'd have to locate it though, right? And make sure it's something physical that you can actually remove from your body for that to be.
And the brain is an unknown topic.
Yeah,
we're 2018. We still don't know everything about the brain.
Absolutely, neurologists will tell you too, man. They've only scratched the surface of their research to really know how the brain works and how it,
Yeah, the fact is,
functions.
Dude, dolphins with their brains. I know this is a little bit off the topic, but dolphins, they can actually communicate to another dolphin via like hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
Like they can show images to other dolphins what they're thinking. So it's like, okay, knowing that means there's more going on to this world than we can see.
So they can transfer their thoughts, but what about their emotions? They can feel each other's emotions too?
Everything, man. Like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, dude, like if I had an experience that I wanted to share with you, I would just think about it, project it to you, and you would live that experience.
That's crazy. It's
that's
like
psycho-communication,
right?
Psycho, like...
I'm over here giving
echo.
Excuse me if I have wrong terminology here. It's like psycho-communication, right?
Something like that.
It's like
beluga whale style.
There you go, beluga. Okay. Yeah. They look at moan to each other and shit. No, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's an interesting topic because they're animals, man. But they communicate in ways maybe more sophisticated than us in some cases. In this case, like you said, they can vibe off of it's your vibrations and also your emotions, right? Like the thing you're giving off. So I'm trying to say, anything with the sharks when they hunt.
Yeah.
I heard that they go off the vibes of a fish in distress, or a fish that's like bleeding. Not only do they smell the blood, but they can feel their pulse through the waves. Does that make sense? Like through the water.
It does. Before we get too
like,
deep into the topic, AJ, you mentioned that we're also going to dabber into flat Earth.
Yeah, we did. We just said that. You're right.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. No, we are. Yeah, just a reminder, guys. Just so you know where we're going with this. We're heading that direction. How fear links into having fear of researching the unknown, which is flat Earth, which is a great topic that we've been wanting to talk about for the past couple of weeks now, actually.
But you got me thinking, man. When you were talking about fear, like, dude, you ever heard that thing like, oh, if you approach a bear, don't show any fear?
Oh yeah, dude.
How do you show fear?
I don't know. Like I said, you don't. It probably goes back to what we literally just talked about, which is I don't think they see it. They just feel it. You see what I'm saying? Like they can feel your vibrations, the uneasiness in your. It's like I say, you come across a big ass grizzly bear. Naturally, you're gonna be fucking like frozen in your feet. Like what am I? Oh shit! This big ass thing with claws and teeth is gonna tear me apart. Right? Naturally, you're gonna freeze in your footsteps. Right? So it's like I feel like when you see him, it's not like he doesn't know you're scared at first. That's why I've heard that stupid advice of make yourself bigger than the bear, raise your arms above your head, kind of shit. Like maybe that works. Yeah, slowly they'll back away. Maybe that bullshit works. But I feel like even as you're doing that, if the bear feels your vibes that you're still scared and uneasy, he's gonna feel like he can overpower you.
But what I'm saying is maybe not, dude. Because professionals tell you, make you look bigger than you are, maintain eye contact, and slowly walk away. If you run away, they're gonna chase you like you're an animal.
Yeah.
So whatever it is they're feeling that we are told that's fear, maybe it's not fear. Because if it was and they actually do sense fear, then obviously they'd be like, dude, fuck this little bitch. I'm going to eat him up. But no, they can feel the fear, obviously, because animals can feel that sense. Yeah. But they see you like this, so maybe that feeling of fear also coincides with something else that we've been taught, like adrenaline or other words, other semantics that have been used in certain scenarios. Like, no, that's only fear if you're with an animal. And no, that's only adrenaline if you're about to fight. But it's like, okay, what if this all feeling is all just one thing? And they don't want you to know that because if we knew that, we can project it certain ways. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we'll also use it to our advantage.
To our advantage. Just
I think, and it actually, I think we do it unintentionally sometimes, using it to our advantage. Mm-hmm. Let me give an example.
Absolutely.
When you're running for your fucking life, right? And there's a big ass fence that you normally wouldn't see yourself hopping. Mm-hmm. You'd be surprised and amazed how quickly you'll get over that fucking fence when you're running for your life, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, you'll just find the strength, bro, even if you didn't have it before. It was always there. You just didn't know it. Like you said, it's because you don't intentionally know how to harness that, like you said, and use it in a way where you can empower yourself to do things you didn't think you could, like getting over that 30-foot fence that you didn't think you could climb over in a calmer state of mind. Does that make sense? You know what I'm saying?
What about drinking and driving?
Oh, fuck
you know, I mean, I'm not in any way condoning drinking and driving.
Promoting it at all?
I'm not saying that you should drink and drive, but think about it. We've all been taught, feared out of our minds to do it. Everyone's telling us, you don't do it. So naturally, if you do it, you're going to get scared a little bit, right? But naturally. When you get really inebriated and you're really just trashed and you're shit-faced, and you don't care. Yeah. And 9 times out of 10, you made it home and you don't know what the fuck happened.
Or how you even got there.
Right. And like
that's scary, bro. Like,
that is scary.
You know what's
crazy?
I don't
know. Yeah.
No. Oh, sorry. Go ahead and finish what you were going to say.
No, I don't know how it's related, but I'm just, it seems like it is.
I have an idea for that. Maybe it's not related to fear in a way or what we're talking about, but I want to go off on a sidebar real quick.
Yeah.
There's a show on Netflix which I highly recommend to you guys and also ArmShark. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Brain Games.
No, I haven't.
Bro, they speak very. Me and my roommate discovered it recently, but we were watching the show, right, and There's a part of the episode, we'll go very vaguely with this because I don't remember exactly what it said, but it talked about that, how sometimes you'll take a ride home, and it's nice. You ever notice that because it was talking about line of sight and focus, so that's a whole other topic, but what it pertains to what you're saying is that he says something about while you're driving and you're focusing, sometimes you'll get to the house and you'll forget how you got there.
Yeah.
Bro, and that can happen sober-minded.
It does.
And it's talking about that in the game, so, I mean, in Brain Games, in that show, it's talking about it. So it's like, when you think about that, you're like, dude, if that can happen to you while you're sober, like maybe your mind goes into this autopilot mode even when you're but here's the thing though, when you're in that state of mind, you are focused, but you're not completely there, and it becomes almost like a memory. What was it? Like muscle memory. That's the word.
Yeah, okay.
It's almost like muscle memory that you just you already know so much. Oh, I turn left here, or I turn right here. Oh, I drive this way.
Has that ever happened to you where you're getting caught up on a text message while you're driving?
And you're still making all the turns
dude,
okay.
all of a sudden you
Muscle
look up
memory,
and you realize
bro.
it's been like a minute and you haven't looked at the road at all. And you're like, what the fuck just happened?
And nothing happened to you. You're calmly, you know when to stop. It's weird, right?
Yeah, dude.
Also, we also don't promote texting and driving.
No,
that can lead
it kills
to some
people.
Yeah, dude, it kills people all the time, bro. That's deadly as fuck. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Guys, don't do that shit. But yeah, no, back to that.
I mean, especially the profession I'm in, guys. You know, there's so many people out here, especially in Antelope Valley, that they're just trying to race around like crazy nuts, driving crazy. Yeah. And it's like, dude, you're not going to solve anything.
You see all kinds of shit.
I mean, you're going 10 miles per hour over the 10 miles per hour. I think 10 miles per hour over the speed limit is safe. Yeah. But you're going over that threshold.
Once you get 20 or 30, then you're
Once you're at 20 or 30, you're a target, period. Yeah. And at that point, it's like, that's a whole different topic, man. What I really enjoy about this fear topic is the fear of the unknown. And I experienced this a lot growing up when it came to women. Okay? Because I was always like
this.
Yes. Yeah, man, like, you know, this
is relatable to a lot of people.
It's like all my life, you know, I have brothers and stuff like that, and you're just like, man, you know, like, how do I talk to this girl? Like, what do I say? And you see other dudes are so comfortable, they're not scared, and you're just wondering, dude, what the fuck are they on that I don't have? Yeah. What's going on? You know, and the whole thing is just like, they're not scared. Maybe they were educated proper on what a woman is. Yeah. You know, and a lot of our education is kind of geared to kind of keeping it in the dark. Like, look at it. Like, we're taught dick, penis, you know, cock, whatever. But what about like, a girl, right? Like, you don't really have a name that you teach little kids that. You always just go, oh, it's their private. Don't talk about it. There's nothing there. No, fuck that. There is something there. Yeah. It's a vagina.
You have to explain that. I mean,
you got to explain that to a kid, man. You got to explain the vagina to the kid because, you know, this whole agenda, I'm treading on murky waters here, man, because this is borderline kind of a homosexual agenda. And I know we're off the topic, but it's like, you know, if we're scared of that, we're going to be comfortable with the same thing.
No, it relates to fear right there. You just, as long as you incorporate it with that, dude, and you're making sense like you are right now, it's true. You're tying it into what we're talking about.
Right.
Fearful, look, it's fearful decision to talk about this because of that. Why? Because you're afraid of the repercussions, or you're afraid of
dude.
What?
Hey, I know that fool ArmShark, dude. Fuck that fool. I have a lot of gay friends. Dude, no one's saying anything bad about gay people.
That's not what we're saying.
There is a homosexual agenda that's happening in Hollywood. Period.
I agree.
Watch a YouTube video.
It's happening in rap
you're
too.
Just gonna believe YouTube? Yeah, bitch, I am. Because guess what? We live in the age of information, and this shit ain't readily available in Russia. This shit ain't readily available in China. This information is fucking hidden. And guess what? We have it free right now for a limited time only. Yeah. So you better print that shit, share it with your kids. The stuff that they're teaching right now on YouTube, dude, I know there's a lot of disinformation out there, but there's a lot of factual information out there. So
I feel like you have to have a good filter. Decipher through everything, like you said, because there's a lot of bullshit on the internet too. Yeah. Don't get us wrong, guys. You know this best. Come on, this generation for sure knows how much fuck shit is on the internet and how much fuck shit blows up.
Yeah.
And grabs people's attention.
Right.
But there is good stuff out there. Like ArmShark is saying, there's a lot of good information out there, a lot of good stuff that you can actually learn from that's real. And like you said, will not be available to everybody forever, man. And that's what. And the thing is, the big point here with this too is with fear. Why I think fear is a bad thing. We kind of briefly talked about how fear can be used in a good way. Like you know, if you know how to harness it, like you said, and direct it. You know, make it directional to benefit you. But just as much as it's like that, fear can also be used to control you.
Dude, when you have the fire and it's in you, people feel it. I got caught up in this Armenian fight when I was 19 years old in North Hollywood.
Here we go.
This shit went down, dude. Yes. Like, no, seriously. Like, okay, this was a fucked up situation. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
There you go. Go ahead.
I was a fucked up.
I don't have it, ArmShark.
Trashy dude. Okay. Long sideburns, long hair. I was
that cocky look on your face, man.
Right.
ArmShark has that face, guys. You'll see eventually.
You just love to hate me.
We're gonna make a transition to visuals eventually, visual episodes. You guys will be able to see us eventually. But
you're gonna love to hate me,
dude. You're gonna see his face, and you guys are gonna know what I'm talking about. Sorry, it ties into your story.
Dude, I walk into rooms and people turn around.
And you have that cocky look.
Right, like who the fuck is this guy? What's his problem? And it's like, you know what, sir? You just fear the unknown.
That's what it is.
Because you don't know where I came from. You don't know what I've done.
Absolutely.
And you want to pigeonhole me to this white category of conservatism. And in reality, I can tell in your eyes that you're already judging me in that level. So I already know how to come across to you. And it's just like you're giving me your cards, and you think you know my cards. And it's one of those things where... But anyway, man, all right, so me, my buddy, we got our homies to... this girl, and she was Indian, and this other girl is like Assyrian. You know, so we had her in on the Armenian party.
Was this your ex? We're not going to say any names.
No.
Okay, different Indian? Okay.
Yeah, different Indian.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and she was actually dating a friend of ours.
Okay.
And, yeah, dude, these Indian chicks get around. Dude, I don't know. All of a sudden in the 90s, dude, they just started like
out there, huh?
Yeah, they just started like infiltrating the white society,
Fucking
something like that. But I don't think it was in terms of trying to find a husband.
Infiltrating the white society. I just never heard it put that way before, man.
Yeah, no, but here's the deal, dude. All right, so we get into her like I don't know Durango, where the hell it was.
Okay.
She had a nice SUV, or some Mercedes SUV.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, okay, so we head over to this Armenian party, and she's like, hey, you guys got to be cool. You know, ArmShark, you better be cool, because she knows I was kind of a troublemaker. Yeah. My buddy was with me as well, and he was kind of a troublemaker. You know, we had some other guy with us, and man, I don't know, man. I was partying in the backyard, and this is like, you know, professional party. They had like, you know, the cardboard or the paper stuff all laid out on the carpet, not to mess it up. They had a really nice house, North Hollywood, you know, and like everyone was Armenian there, you know, and Armenians are cool, you know. But back then,
I heard they're very closed too. They're very closed off to everybody else, right? Like not
totally.
Not to say that they're racist, but they're like.
Well, yeah, it's cultural, man. Mexicans are the same way when they came here. You got to stick together. That's true. You know, and branch off. You know, yeah. I got a lot of respect for the culture, but at that time, I didn't really know nothing. So you don't know nothing, but no, seriously though, dude. Listen.
Okay.
So we get in her SUV. I'm over there. So, anyways, I meet this dude in the backyard, right? And we're just drinking, laughing, you know, and because they can tell that I'm not your typical dude. Yeah. So they can see past the stereotypes because they weren't born into those stereotypes. Yeah. So that's one thing that's cool about foreign people or the melting pot we call Los Angeles. For all you Midwest listeners, stuff like that, we actually live in a melting pot. But the thing is that it's still segregated. But I know you guys don't know what we're talking about sometimes. But just a shout out to our Midwest listeners there. A little plug for them. But anyways, no, listen though, dude. Yeah. So yeah, we're just drinking. He's like, hey, man, why don't you go inside the kitchen and get a shot glass? It's cool, bro. Serge told you. Tell me. I know the owner. I was like, dude, so you want me to just walk in the kitchen and open the cabinet drawer and just grab a shot glass? Yes, I'll be out here. We'll do vodka shots. I go, all right.
He's down, bro.
He was down, bro. He was cool, right? So I went out there, man. But me being dirtbag ArmShark, right? I stumble into the kitchen. Yeah. And the party's happening out in the living room. No one's in the kitchen. I open up this fine china, okay?
This fine china.
My lips are salivating, thinking about what can I sell at the pawn shop. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
We got some nice little shot glasses, little gold rims and crap.
Yeah, so, all this fancy shit, yeah.
Dude, so anyways, I was not intending to steal a shot glass, okay? Like, I was drunk off my ass, okay? I grab it out of the cabinet. I walk to the backyard, and the guy's gone. And the whole time, dude, I think they were setting me up. Okay?
I was just about to say that.
Dude, I
set you up for some shit.
Grab a cigarette from my ear, light it. Okay. I put the shot glass in my back pocket, and then I just freaking walk through the house. I walk outside, smoke my cigarette, and then while I'm smoking, I'm pretty drunk, so I needed to sit down somewhere. And yeah, sure, it made it look like I was hiding, but it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna hide. In the middle of a party, waiting for my friends to be done so I can go home with the shot glass. Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Yeah. But I can tell how it looks to other people at the same time, right? Yeah. It's like I stole a shot glass.
Of course.
So, dude, I come out, right?
These guys are all strangers, right? These people.
They're all strangers. They don't know who the fuck I am, but they do know that some white trashy guy just stole my shot glass. Whether it was set up or not, that's what happened. Okay. So she comes out here. There he was. I saw him. That's fucking him. That white trash piece of shit. That's him. And I was like, huh? What happened? Okay, mind you, I'm too drunk to feel fear, to even know what fear is at this point.
Of course, right? Yeah.
So I'm looking.
So you're not fearful. It's like a flow of confidence through you. It's
right,
like,
dude.
Yeah, you got the liquid
confidence.
And
the reason why how this correlates is because this dude, okay, mind you, I was 19. He was 28 years old. He comes, he swings at me and hits me right in the face.
Like blindside style? He just walks out?
Cheap shot. I was trying to explain myself.
You turned your head and just saw fist.
I was trying to explain myself. We're facing each other. Okay. I was like, bro, listen.
Oh, you're talking to him?
Yes. Okay. I go, listen. She comes out. That's him. Fuck him. I go, listen, hold on. And of course, the girls we came with, they're just freaking out. Absolutely. Coming out. Oh my gosh, you guys are so embarrassing. Right? And I was like, anyways, so I'm like, I get hit in the face, and out of nowhere, that's when this, that feeling inside you. It's almost like fear. Right? That gut feeling. It was so strong, bro, that I turned, I looked at him, and I just started wailing on his face. I got at least 6 clean shots on him.
So you harnessed that fear.
In fact, he fell, and I picked him up by his leather jacket and pulled him up to hit him more. And then, what was funny, dude, here comes King Arthur behind me. It was a swinging punch in the air, punching some other Armenian dude that was trying to like lunge at me.
Dude, he's your right hand man, bro.
He is, dude.
Back in the days, dude.
Always been. Dude,
still is, huh?
Yeah, I'm his right hand man. Oh, okay. You know, it goes both ways.
Yeah, no, of course. You guys are.
Dude, the other pussies we were with, they didn't do shit. The girls are yelling. Then, hey, we're at an Armenian party, right? There's like 50 heads, dudes. They all turned and looked at me. 3 of them ran up to me, and all I did, dude, is I looked up and went, "Urgh." You know, like
fucking growl at them, like Michael shit.
Yeah, and he backed off. He just backed off, like, oh, we don't know what this guy's fucking
fuck this guy, bro. He's probably insane. Like, you don't want to fuck with that. That's damaged goods right there.
Like, so is that fear? You know what I mean? Like, dude. Shit, dude. You know,
I like that. That's a great story to tie into what we're talking about, man. That's so true because it makes you wonder. Like, look, like I was asking you, if that's fear, you harnessed it and you directed it at what you were afraid of, and you used your adrenaline to your advantage and you swung on them. Some people, I feel like just that feeling of adrenaline, that rush, might throw them off. Like, does that make sense?
Totally.
And they might not even know what to do with it. Us, I'm similar to you. I like to use it. Oh, I'm gonna fucking hit that thing that's making me scared. You know, like that's how I'm gonna react. I react the similar way that you do. Some people, they're so, you know what I'm saying, engulfed in their fear that even when they have the adrenaline, they cower in that as well because they don't even know how to react to the adrenaline. Does that make sense?
This was
like, do you get what I'm saying?
I do.
Like they're affected by the fear, but also by the adrenaline, and it's like two things at once. I don't know what to do with this stuff, and you know they end up cowering in a fetal position, or whatever have you. Right. But in your case, you pummeled this motherfucker and defended yourself, man. Yeah, and not everybody can do that. So,
and this is why I lost these friends.
You're not done. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's okay. The girls, they quit talking to me after that night. And I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because they finally got me I was really drunk, and they finally got me in the back seat of their car.
Oh, they wanted to fuck you.
You know what I did? No, their fear of the unknown. That's why they quit talking to me, because they've never seen a real dude before. Oh, they're always used to these like effeminate dudes that, you know, don't really know how to fucking react on their emotions, so they've just been suppressing it, and they've been told that that's what they're supposed to do. So in these situations, they kind of just crawl, and that's all they're used to, those kind of dudes. So
that's
when they see,
kind of like what I was saying.
Right, totally.
They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to handle those emotions.
The energy. They're like, what the fuck? Like, and yeah, that means I'm going to fuck really good. And they're scared of that, dude. Some girls don't want that, dude.
They're intimidated.
They are.
You might pump them a little too hard.
Something might happen where they might fall in love. No, but here's the thing.
They might fall in love. Don't fall in love with ArmShark's cock.
No, anybody that has it, right?
Well, anybody. No,
right,
me too, bro. I'm right there with you, man.
Yeah.
Look,
it might have something to do with that. I threw up all over the backseat, too. Yeah, that could have something to do with it.
that probably does have something to do with it. See, you left that part out. You didn't tell me you blew chunks in the backseat of her car.
No, I didn't blow chunks, dude.
You didn't blow chunks of dog, right?
I threw up.
You threw up. You didn't blow chunks.
No, but okay, this is what happened, dude. After we stopped at a stoplight, I got out of the car and I ran back to the party, bro. Oh, I wanted more, dude. I was like so pumped up. They were so mad, dude. So pissed off at me.
Well, you like blocks away? You just booked it back?
Yeah,
fuck
dude,
this shit. I'm not done. I want more.
I'm not done.
You wanted blood, bro.
Yeah, I wanted blood, dude. I can taste it. And I was like, because I knew I can kill all of them. And it's like, dude, back in the samurais, dude. Do I want 100 soldiers or one fucking samurai that can kill 10?
Fuck.
Right? You know, they talk about that shit.
They do talk about that. One person
talks about that in the Bible.
Well trained, it does.
Dude, God's army was like a tenth of the size of the other pharaohs and shit.
Absolutely.
They kick some fucking ass.
And I'm going to paraphrase what I say.
Fear, bro.
Exactly. Fear drove that. No. Yeah. I was going to... You're good. All I was going to say was that it transitions to that one well-trained soldier should be able to take out 10 men. At least 10.
Thank you.
Bro. So I'm paraphrasing. It says something along those lines.
You know what? You don't have to be all depressed, guys, listeners out there. Oh, man, I'm not a soldier. I can't use my fucking downness or whatever. Yeah. No, dude. This shit actually coincides with every aspect of your life, dude. If you're that employee that's like the shit and everyone's like, dude, how does that guy stay so good? And you got haters and you got people wondering why you're such a good employee. You know what? It's because you got it, dude. Absolutely. You can do anything you want with it.
Yes.
You know, and you're just choosing that. You're just choosing that job.
And for you fearful people out there, that's the point we're trying to get across.
Yeah,
both me and ArmShark here is that we're just trying to also say that if you can harness it and direct it to benefit you, it'll get you out of situations, or in like ArmShark's case, at work. If you're fearful of trying something because you're afraid of how peers might take it, fuck that, dude. Go for it. If you know you have a feeling it's gonna be a good, positive outcome, don't be scared of trying it.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know if that's what you're trying to get at.
Yeah, that's faith, dude.
You know,
faith is just believing.
That's fearful too, bro. Believing in the unknown. We don't have Saul. We don't have Saul. Yeah, Jesus is not in the. Well, he is in the room, but in spirit. But that's what we believe. But you can't physically see him and touch him right here. But that's where faith comes in.
Right.
And people are scared of that too. Well, I don't know if I should believe that. I don't know. You know, again.
What's fascinating, man, is that now science is finally like starting like quantum physics and everything. They're starting to acknowledge the fact that okay, there is some sort of creator. I mean, maybe not mainstream science, but we have Elon Musk. We have, I think, even Bill Gates. We have like people that we look up to, right? Like entrepreneurs or whatnot, rich people, where they're actually saying that there's Elon Musk, I think, has a simulation theory, where they're basically saying that the basis of the simulation theory, which hey, if
I never heard of this.
If man can create a video game that replicates the life we live, then it's a possibility that someone could create our life. So what they're saying basically is that it's like a computer program, like a matrix that we live in. It's God, right? Like
it's God.
It's the tetrahedron.
It's funny. No, I was actually. It's so crazy.
Oh, wake up, Elon Musk! It's fucking God you're talking about, dude. Yeah. Dude, computer program.
It's mind blowing. Look, and it's mind blowing to me that you brought up the Matrix, because right when you said that, I was thinking about it, and then you just said it. I was like, "Fuck!" That's how I know. Dude. It was dope that you brought it up, because that's so true. That reality, that's a whole other topic too.
It's a whole other topic, yeah. But
that reality was
what we're talking about today.
Exactly. It does coincide with what we're talking about today. Absolutely, it absolutely does. But it's true. That reality was projected, bro. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? That just kind of how you brought it up. That whole idea, it ties into the Matrix.
We can warp our reality. Like we can warp time,
and that's the
power we have.
And that's how it ties into the Matrix example. Because the example of the Matrix, for those who've been living under a fucking rock and didn't watch that magnificent movie. I mean, I can't hate on you too much. When ArmShark first showed me this movie, I didn't get it. And I remember asking him, what the fuck is
what
this?
movie? I
it
lost.
was The Matrix.
Oh, yeah, okay.
When you first showed it to me when I was younger, dude, you threw me off. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I didn't appreciate it because I didn't understand it at first, you know? Yeah. And I don't want to get too far off topic talking about The Matrix. We'll talk about that some other time. But that's how it coincides with this topic, because when you're talking about the whole us almost distorting our reality, it's very similar, because in The Matrix, it's a world made up by these machines, by these robots, or are they robots, right? Are they like aliens, or?
Yeah. It's like something like that. I mean, it could be that, or it could just be the powers of the world that are basically have found a way.
Well, no, that's how you're comparing it. No. That's what I'm saying. In the movie, it's robots, aliens that project and made this reality for us, right?
That's what they want us to believe in the movie as well.
Oh,
but what I'm saying is that
in real life,
the powers of the world, they want immortality. So that's why we have stem cell research.
Which is going on now, obviously.
It's going on
in the real
now.
world, yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't want to name drop or anything, but Rothschild, right? Or something like that. Like some big power, some big player that doesn't even fucking care.
Illuminati. Let's just be real, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we're talking about. The powers of the world, the elite. Whatever the fuck you want to call them, man. You know?
They want immortality, right?
Yeah.
So that's why
Rockefeller's
stem cell research has been hidden for a long time.
Absolutely.
Because they don't want people to know that they can just grow organs, just keep replacing them.
Also off topic, I think the cure for cancer is also out there, bro.
Oh, of course, dude.
You know, these fuckers they're money hungry. They love it. They want to suppress all those.
Research Dr. Sebi. For anybody that knows anything about anything,
and they
research Dr. Sebi and see how he just recently died. This guy was 80 years old.
Probably made a breakthrough, I'm sure. Died for it.
He's cured AIDS. He's cured cancer. I mean, this is real talk, dude. The research.
Magic Johnson, if this ever crosses your airway, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I know for a fucking fact you don't have that disease anymore. You got money like him, guarantee, bro. He has that cure. He took it, and he hasn't had AIDS for years.
That's the whole thing, man. Is that there's not one cure, right? Like you can't just go, here's the pill, like they want us to think, or drink this and you're good. It's like, no, it's a lifestyle change, bro. If you need a high alkaline,
I'm sure he also took care of himself, no
right?
doubt.
It's all about what's going into your body at all times. You got to change everything. Like the second you diagnose with cancer, and you're going to continue living where you live while you have cancer, then that's on you, bro. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, ain't gonna fool me again, right?
No, I hear you.
But,
oh, wow.
No, let's
get back to the topic.
My Midwest listeners out there, what a little plug for them.
All right, let's get back to the topic. So we're already halfway point here. We're at 30 minutes, so let's get back to... not bad, right? So let's just get back to that.
What irritates me, dude, is that people that they're so scared to grow, or they're so scared to kind of learn a little bit more about where you're coming from, that they will use worldly views or worldly issues to just basically justify their action. Like my story about I threw up in her car, right? After they came back, they got me. I got into her car. At that point, I was dizzy. I was ready to, I couldn't hold it. I just barfed everywhere. Yeah, it sucks. Your Mercedes, I get it. But you know what?
Fuck, dude.
You know what?
Leather seats at least?
You know reason why I found out?
Did she at least have leather seats?
I don't remember. I'm sure they were leather, dude. It's a Mercedes, you know. But I heard that she had to pay $100 to clean it.
Everything's expensive in that fucking thing, man. The battery, the fucking seat warmers.
But that was the issue, man. Was
cleaning that shit.
I'm like, hey, why won't she talk to me anymore? Like, what are you talking about, bro? You never even offered to pay for her car wash. I'm like, wait a second, dude. I mean, I want to sit and talk to her about what happened first before I start giving her money. I mean, I know I fucked up, but you're going to use that against me? Like, oh, you didn't pay for my car wash, therefore I'm never going to talk to you again. And it kind of just shows the surface of the relationship, first off, and how easy and how fragile it was, you know, but...
If that's going to break it, not make it?
Yeah, no, it's just, to me, it's just you're afraid of what you saw. Yeah. And you don't want anything to do with me because you've never seen it before. Yeah. And I respect that. That's fine. But eventually, that's going to come up again in your life if you don't deal with it now.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree with you. And it's like, so back to what we were talking about with the whole fear situation, fear of the unknown, and how does that lead up to flat Earth? Is fear of the unknown, searching parts of the world that are unknown. Like I said, like I stated before, and you might not come back from some of these ventures. You know what I mean? These endeavors that you go on, you might not come back from them. So it's like having a fear that's understandable. You don't want to die. Most of us don't want to die, at least. You know.
Look at the Spear of Destiny.
Part. So it's like, oh, dude, you know what? They made, what fucking movie was that where they used that? That was in a movie. Using the Spear of Destiny.
I don't remember the movie, man, but I do know Hitler was very, very interested in the Spear of Destiny as a young child.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's a movie with the premise. I can't think of it right now. I'm going to look that shit up.
We need that fact checker. Again,
here I go with the fucking, looking this shit up on my own because no one wants to respond to our email or our job listing about fucking having a fact.
It's been posted now for 2 weeks. We've been interviewing the female crowd, trying to find somebody that wants to sit here on the computer and just fact check us
while we talk. So let's see here. What we call it Spear of Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Of Destiny being used.
What's fascinating, though, is that it sat in the England Museum for a very long time. Why? Because of fear. For those of you who don't know what the Spear of Destiny is, long story short, there's this spear that the Romans used to pierce Christ on the side to pour out all his lung water to make sure he was dead. And that spear, I guess, was passed down. And the legend is whoever holds this spear can take over the world. Okay, so whoever has the Spear of Destiny will take over the world. And Hitler knew this. And in fact, he used a lot of resources to obtain this spear. And the rumor has it is that he got it. And that's how they got so powerful so fast, right? I mean, there's other theories you can look at, but what fascinates me about the whole Hitler...
It's in fucking Constantine, bro. Constantine. That's
dude,
what it's
in.
How
real is that, dude?
It's in Constantine, bro.
Oh, no kidding.
In the Mexican countryside, a scavenger named Manuel finds a spearhead wrapped in a Nazi flag at the ruins of an old church, which is later revealed to be the Spear of Destiny. Bro, that's the movie. It was fucking Constantine where they... But same
Keanu
thing.
Reeves, man.
Keanu Reeves, bro. And
Matrix.
We briefly mentioned Constantine last episode, matter of fact.
Dude, he keeps coming up, man. It's probably because King Arthur's spirit's here.
Oh, God.
Was
he a Keanu Reeves?
We're going to have to talk more about Hitler and reincarnation and how it all relates to everything on a different episode. Yeah. I want to get more into the flat Earth thing.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Hitler knew the world was flat, is what he thought. Yeah. He made expeditions to Antarctica trying to find this Arctic wall. Then all of a sudden there's this big peace treaty between all the 7 nations in Antarctica. That's the only place that's peaceful. I mean, there's a lot of different things that suggest. I'd like to hold a belief that don't believe anything until conclusive evidence comes your way, or believe everything you hear. So I like to take the first part. I don't believe anything until conclusive evidence comes my way. And honestly, flat Earth, I'm on the fence. What are your thoughts, AJ?
I'm on the fence too, because I mean, it does seem like it is a circle. There's the evidence that supports that, but then there's also the evidence in the Bible where you mentioned this. You mentioned this very, very. Or I think it was.
Well, a circle doesn't mean it's not round, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think that you mentioned it in episode 1. You're talking about the foundations of the earth being sitting like the earth is sitting on. And I remember my brother mentioned this before, sitting on pillars.
Right.
The Bible describes it that way. Yes, I understand. In some cases, you're supposed to only take the Bible. Not literal in some points of the Bible, right? You're supposed to remember that it is a metaphor in some cases. But why would the Bible describe the world's foundations on pillars? It almost makes you want to picture a flat Earth sitting on these gigantic pillars that God put in place, and we live on top of this big ass, desk type thing where that's the entire world. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Why is it that? And it makes another reason why I think the flat Earth might be the case is because why is there certain areas when you travel a certain distance on the planet you can't go over these? Like I know somewhere, I think it's either in Antarctica or some frozen. Guys, I'm fucking this up geography about it. So just forgive me for this.
When we flew to Russia, we didn't go right. We went up.
Did you hear about these gigantic ice walls that they have in certain areas that you can't fly over? If for some reason, if you try to fly over, those planes don't come back.
Right.
For whatever unknown reason.
Right.
Does that shit hit a wall? Does it run into some type of atmospheric
or
science fucked up area or different world? Is it going into a whole another dimension?
Right.
We don't know, dude. So that's another reason why I agree with you. I'm on the fence, though. I am on the fence. I'm not saying just because I sound like I'm supporting flat Earth more than round Earth. I'm just saying why I'm on the fence. It might be a possibility. And you made a good point about it being a dome.
God divided the upper waters with the lower waters. It talks about
also
that
in the Bible as well.
Right. The sky is blue.
Yeah.
Right. We haven't discovered all what's inside the ocean. So maybe the way to space is to go in the water.
Yes, and I also briefly mentioned this in episode 1 too.
You did.
Yeah.
And it's really fascinating, dude, because with NASA, their spacesuits look like freaking deep sea diver suits.
They do.
And then they got videos being leaked about little bubbles. Oh, those are
big ass.
Those are space bubbles. What the fuck's a space bubble, bro? It's called water.
There's no. Yeah, like what do you mean? I get it. No oxygen in space.
Yeah.
There's no oxygen underwater either.
Yeah.
So like your theory, and it makes sense.
There's a lot of pressure in space.
There's
a lot of pressure underwater too.
Yes, exactly. That's why you can't travel to certain depths in the ocean because the pressure would crush you. Right. So like you said, you go through a portal, right? You swim outside the dome. Hence the fucking, like you said, the sky being blue. We were like, well, why is it black? That's a whole other. We'll get there in a second. But during the day it's blue, right? You swim outside the dome. Yeah. You're underwater now. And like you said, look at these spacesuits, man. They look like old school submarine suits, like or I'm fucking that up. Deep sea diving suit.
No, totally.
They deep sea diving suits. They look like deep sea diving suits because there's a big old pack on the back, right? Look at the helmet, the way the helmet is sitting on the body, and the way the hands are covered, the feet are covered. It's easy for it to be like, well, it's keeping out the vacuum of space while killing you, whatever. It's not water. Okay, but it looks like you said, the way the movements are, even the physicality aspect of it is like underwater. I'm sure you bounce underwater. Has anybody here? And I'm sure you guys have done it.
Have you
try walking around a pool? You bounce.
You bounce.
It's the same shit. Gravity. The laws of gravity are very similar.
Okay, and here's the thing.
Right? In water than they are in fucking space.
And here's the thing, because I don't want to get into the whole moon landing photos and all that stuff, because, I get it. Joe Rogan actually opened my mind on this. Hey, all because...
This podcast. Shout out to the Joe Rogan podcast. Get some listeners come over here and listen to us. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, no, but seriously, like, he pointed out that, okay, we have evidence that maybe the moon landing videos are fake. But that does not mean that we didn't land on the moon.
Did he find some evidence that might not be the case?
Dude, do some research, man. You can just look at it. There's like pictures of NASA's being labels being taped to Scotch tape and shit.
Let me ask you this: that fucking the bubbles you saw, were they in the same film? Like you see bubbles, they said they're space bubbles, like you were saying. Was that in the moon landing?
No, I don't think so. But I mean, there's enough evidence to suggest that the moon landing video is fake. I mean, there's no stars, right? It's just black background.
And I just want to throw this out there. Like I said, I know we're not talking about the moon landing.
Yeah, I don't want to
mention this.
Yeah, I don't want to go into deep with the moon.
No. We're not going to stay here, guys.
Moon
We're going to move. Yeah, it's not Moon Day. We're not talking about that. We're talking about flat Earth and round Earth theory here with fear, involved with fear. But anyway, I just want to put this out there. I always thought it was weird how the flag was blowing. If there's no oxygen up there, how the fuck is there wind up there? Yeah. No one questioned that. No one thought that was a little odd that this flag. It's funny. I remember Futurama. They depicted it better in a smarter way. I remember there's an episode where they're on the moon. And they actually find the actual moon landing site, but the flag is not moving. It's firm. I remember Leela telling Fry, it's just a crummy plastic flag and a dead man's tracks in the dirt. It's funny. It's funny, but you see my point? Like, it was a plastic flag. Why would they make it wavy? Like, did you guys forget the laws of physics that we're supposedly supposed to remember?
Yeah, well, this was back in the day, too.
Yeah, but that just makes it more supportive of the fact of it being staged.
So, what I'm saying what I learned from him actually was that basically what he's saying is that all because we have evidence that suggests the video is fake doesn't mean the incident didn't happen. They could have been under a lot of pressure to produce something to show the public. I mean, we're traveling through lots of electromagnetic fields, supposedly, that could destroy footage. I get all that. But, AJ, what I was going to say, man, is that Jules Gabriel Verne, I'm talking about the 1800s, dude. This guy wrote several books. Back to the Future Part 3. Doc always talks about Jules Verne. Oh, yeah, he does. Right? The stars. I mean, this is back in the 18th century where there was no space travel. Jules Verne wrote a novel. I want to believe it was from the from the moon and back, or from the Earth to the moon. Anyways, the basis of this novel was about these very wealthy men, okay, that they get this idea that they want to shoot the moon. And everyone around them is telling them they're crazy, they're stupid, you cannot shoot the moon. And he says, you know what, we could. And I have the money to prove it. So he got all the specialties in every single industry, science, physics, gun, ammunition, weather, and they constructed this cannon. Yeah. This is a story, right? This is not real. But again, is it? Right? So they constructed this cannon with a bullet that was big enough to shoot to the moon.
Wow.
And while he was doing that,
this is fictional.
This is an old novel that was written in the 1800s, maybe the late 1700s. I'm not really sure the exact date. I'm pretty sure it was the 1800s. But yeah, Jules Verne wasn't even born in the 1800s. It was like the 1800s.
Yeah.
And when he wrote this novel, dude, they finally get to space. I'll leave you. I'll let you guys read it for yourself to find all the cool stuff that's going on in this novel. But they finally, there's this actor guy who's really popular. He volunteers saying, well, I want to ride the bullet then. Like almost like the first astronaut, right? And they're like, wow. So J.T. Madsen, the guy in the book who's founded the president of the gun club, he's like, hey, I'll go with you. I'm down for clown. I'll do this shit. So they carved out a little opening and they made a little inside the bullet where three people rode inside this bullet. Well, the reason why I'm bringing it up, dude, is because they shot, and on the novel it describes the fact that they see the lunar disc. They just see a lunar disc, and they can't, no matter what, the bullet stops. It stops
while it's traveling through the air.
While it's traveling through the air, it just stops right when it hits the disc.
Whoa.
And it just stops. They said they haven't touched...
So this supports the dome theory.
It does. It's crazy, because it doesn't actually hit the disc. They just say that I'm stopped, and we're stuck here, and we don't know why we can't go further, and we're just stuck. And if you see those videos on YouTube where people make rockets that shoot up on the camera and it just stops.
Or they'll stop. Or sometimes they'll explode in midair.
Right, or it just stops.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as Jules Verne already wrote about this.
Whoa. And look at his entry.
Jules Verne, he had
back in what century did you say that was?
It was the 19th century, so he was like 18... He probably wrote this in the 1850s. Back to the Future Part 3 was about 1885. It was around that time. We're talking about space travel. He wrote another book about Journey to the Center of the World.
1885 was like, the same author. That's what you told me.
Journey to the Center of the World?
Yes.
Dude, Brendan Fraser did the movie. Dude, there's water underground. There's seas underground. There's sea monsters underground. There's caves underground. There's granite underground. There's a whole world underground, right?
Yeah. So
this is a journey to the center of the world. Or is it? Is it a journey to space? I don't know. The whole thing is very fascinating, dude.
Absolutely. So it makes you, in that, it supports two things, actually. It supports the flat earth theory, and then it also supports the flat earth theory, but also a dome. Which is, I think it's still part of the same theory, because like you said, we're thinking you get to a portal, you go outside, and you swim up and see the dome from the outside.
Possibly.
Right? Possibly. We're not saying you can, but it's a possibility. Yeah. That supports the same theory. That's why they're one and the same.
Right.
Can you get to the foundations of the earth? I don't know. Will God allow it? You know what I'm saying? It depends on your
beliefs. Like this old ancient Viking ship, or this old ancient discoverer guy from the 1400s. They found this old map that he drew out, and he actually talked about trying to find an inland passage to the ice continent.
Yeah.
And the amount of leagues he traveled, it basically supports the fact that he was just going around in a big circle.
Fuck.
And north is the center of the world. Dude, check this out. The Northern Lights. There's lights coming from the center of the North Pole. Why aren't anybody talking about this shit?
Yeah.
There's lights coming out of the center of the world, dude.
You know what it is? People just write it off as, it's science. They don't look into it. It's science. Oh, shit. Well, doesn't it spark curiosity in you to want to know, it's science, how it works? You know what I mean? Like, how, it's science works. And it's like, that's why I think...
Well, it's gravity.
Yeah, it's gravity. Just don't question it, man. It's the way things are.
Come on, flat earth tards.
Yeah, it's like
well, you're again, the globe is a heliocentric
model. And it makes you wonder,
based off theory.
Why is it that when you fly to certain areas, it throws everything off? Everything's weird. Inside the plane, the navigation gets fucked up. The plane crashes somehow. Why? You know what I mean? It's like, well, I've flown around the world, man. I know it's a circle. How the fuck do you know? How? Did you, I'm not saying it isn't. Maybe it is. But how do you know for a hard evidence fact that you are doing a circle?
So why is there maps that are surfacing?
And not only that,
Buddhist maps.
What if you don't go all the way around like you think? Those people say that you're going under the globe and coming back up to the top of the globe. How do you know that? How do you know you're not just going around the edges of the globe?
And when we were kids,
coming back around the circle, you see what I'm saying?
Totally.
Well, how do you know?
And in north just follows the center. Dude, and when we were kids, we were always taught that Christopher Columbus was trying to prove the Earth wasn't flat. Have you ever learned that?
Oh yeah,
That was old
He believed
80s
that. I remember
bullshit.
that. Yeah,
and then
dude.
they quit teaching that.
Yeah.
Why is that?
They stopped
Let's
it.
slowly
Yeah.
just get this whole flat idea just out of everybody's head.
Yeah, is it really far-fetched to believe it? And I know we sound like we're pro-flat Earth guys, but we're not going to rule out the fact that it might.
We're just presenting research that I've seen that's made me go,
And question it a little bit more.
But yeah, we're
just
just
be honest, guys. Look, we're not against the whole round Earth theory, but
Yeah.
let me ask you this: it's so more easily believed. Why is that? Right? That's the favorite. When someone asks you, "Do you believe the world's flat or the world is round?" Everybody looks at the world as flat as, "Oh, that's been debunked centuries ago."
Yeah, don't you know
and everybody
physics
naturally believes, yeah. So,
right. Well, it's like,
so
well,
we're here to question that.
why does
right?
physics contradict quantum physics?
Thank you. We're here to put the question on the table.
Right, yeah. So quantum physics is accepted now.
Yeah.
But physics sometimes contradicts it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Why is it the mystery spot in Santa Cruz? The gravity's a little odd
Bro,
there,
I want to
right?
go there so
Yeah,
much.
it's pretty
There's,
dope,
there's
dude.
3 of them, right?
So there's like 78 in the whole world, man.
shit.
And a lot of them are in the United States, which is really
There's like
interesting.
4 in California, right? Because I know there's the one you went to.
The Santa Cruz one, yeah.
Dude, you inspired me. I still have yet to go
It's
there,
pretty,
but I want to
it's
go.
pretty interesting, man.
The whole bowling ball on the wall going the opposite direction
Yeah.
of gravity. If you guys not heard about this place, look it up. Mystery spot in California. Like ArmShark said, there's a bunch all over the world. But in California alone, if you're in California, look it up. You'll see what we're talking about. Just Google mystery spot. You'll see.
There's like a 2x4 that's shaped like a letter I, and in the middle of the I, there's a level, so you can see the ground is level.
That's fucking
And if
crazy,
you go
man.
with someone who's shorter than you, I went with someone who was 5'4", and I'm 6 feet tall,
It looked taller than me.
and they were the same height as me.
And they were standing in front of
They're
you.
standing right in front of me, literally 12 inches away.
And you know what the argument here is? It's an illusion. Oh,
It's
maybe,
science.
But it's science.
If you can just do this, that, and this and that, that's like when people say, "All right, so
It's
what?"
a lazy answer. Let's
It's
be
a
honest.
lazy
It's a lazy
answer.
fucking. It's science. Don't question it. That's such a lazy answer.
Snipers in the military, they're trained to look out for weather. You know, when they're shooting 3 miles away.
Yeah.
You know, which they're saying that the curvature should happen at some point if you can shoot 3 miles away or something like that.
Yeah,
But they're
along
not
those lines.
trained to aim for curvature at all.
No.
And then, again, people
Oh
say
yeah, they argue that.
people
Because
say,
they
"Let's
know that it's
science."
going to come with a curvature.
the gravity's holding the bullet down. You know, so there's always science is always a good reputable answer. But what's happening now is that science is now admitting that there's think a different way. You're scared to. It's like almost like when you're kind of talking to an atheist, and you can see that you're making wrinkles in their head by telling them different things. And when your go-to answer is science, yeah, okay. I will admit it. Like, I don't know the exact terms and the scientific terms that they're defining, but we have to understand that they defined it. Man defined it. Man created these, like carbon dating. Well, carbon dating says it's this now. Who created carbon dating? Who, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
who's behind all this? Who's the one that created this theology? Because, like, if you look back, it was a theology.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, okay. They were so passionate about it that there used to be arguments over flat versus globe. Dude, the Flat Earth Society was wiped out
Well, this argument's been going on for years, right?
for
This is not something new.
centuries. It's not new.
Yeah.
And that's why people are so pissed about it now, is because they're being taught that anyone that brings it up is stupid, is a conspiracy.
And have you noticed that every time you bring it up, the idea of it, they're like, well, that's been debunked.
Yeah.
I know I might have stated that earlier, but I'm stating it again. I laugh at that. Why? What makes it debunked? Because, back then, they had such primitive technology, they couldn't really, research or investigate the way they can do it now. So now we've already completely debunked that. Like, have you yourself physically done it? No, you haven't physically looked into things. Have you physically traveled to the ends of the earth to figure out if that shit really does come to an end, or you just travel in a circle? You can't dig down to get to China. You stated this either last episode or one before. I think it was the first episode you stated this, where people have dug down with machines
Right.
and this shit melted. It stopped working.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, right? There's certain areas you can't get to for a reason. Like I like to believe there's limits that God put in place for a reason.
Totally.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't reach certain foundations of the planet for that reason, you know? And then obviously the science people, come in here and be like, well, the core of the Earth temperature is what stops. You know what I mean? They'll hit you with all this shit. I'm not saying I'm some crazy ass, I believe in all this other shit that doesn't make any, logical sense. No. I'm just saying that it's okay to question certain things and that there's certain things put in place by God for reasons we can't reach to it.
Why was the Book of Enoch taken out of the King James Version of the Bible?
They're hiding some truth from us. That's how I see it. Do you agree?
Well, Book of Enoch talks about Enoch being brought by Archangel Michelangelo, and he showed him all the different pillars of the world, showed him all the different They were on a big mountaintop where he can see everything.
It's crazy. So he kind of broke it down from. Maybe he saw the foundations of the earth too. Maybe he saw the shit that was
the world
on the
was
ground.
globe, right? If the world was maybe not globe, but if it was
circular.
If the land was on top of the globe, like it's like we're taught, then how could you see all the world off of the top of a mountain?
You have to be floating from space.
Even then,
you're right.
So
and that supports the idea of what I was saying earlier. It's almost like a tabletop, right? The foundation's under it.
Right. So
if you're on a high enough place, a high enough point where you can see everything, how's that, like you said, how's that physically possible to see on a globe? You can't. You only see one side.
You're taking it literal, but you know what? It's a literal book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's You're
not supposed to interpret the entire Bible as a metaphor. If that's the case, then a lot of it's just life lessons referring to metaphorical shit.
And that's what they want you to believe.
And that's not the case. Yes, they want you to think that. Yeah. That's not the case. Absolutely
it can be both. It can be flat and a globe. Yeah. It can be just picture a big giant ball and then draw a line right in the middle. Yeah. And that's Earth. And then the dome's on top. And then the little pillars are on the bottom of that globe. And it's still a circle. It's still a globe.
It still supports
just
that
where
theory.
We live. It's just
so in a way, it supports... No, not in a way it does. It supports that theory of being both. What's wrong with that?
You know, I think it's in Detroit. They have a large dome of a simulated...
Dude, I was going to say that. See, the dome theory? Then maybe it's both, bro. Why is that so far-fetched to believe?
It's not.
Like you said.
They have a dome that they actually test cars with sensors, self-driving vehicles. They have a whole fake city created, like, huge, where they're doing all these safety tests to have self-driving vehicles. They've already made something like that. Like,
it makes me think, like those old, back in the day, like I use this as unfortunately one of the worst Indiana Jones movies, unfortunately, but Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I was thinking Crystal Skulls.
Were you thinking of that too?
Yeah,
remember that scene where Harrison Ford, aka Indiana Jones, he runs into that nuke, you know, that city that was made for the bomb?
Right.
They had cities like that, right, to test bombs like that, right?
Right.
I thought of that shit. Everything's fake, and they had these, like, and it was a dome almost. Like, it was, like a little world that just existed in its own little prison.
Truman Show is pretty brilliant.
Oh, that's even better. Screw my Indiana Jones reference. That's exactly what I was trying to say. Truman Show is a perfect example. Remember when the camera drops out of the sky?
Yeah.
It's because the sky is just a dome, you know, it just crashes. It's like, what the fuck? Where did that come from? What if that was our real existence, but not just in that little town like in Truman Show, but the world was like that? You know what I mean? Like, and what tripped me out, what made me think of Truman Show, and I should have said this earlier, was when you brought up the whole idea of the moon, the lunar disk, right? And you said the spaceship just stopped.
Right.
It reached the surface, bro, of this dome, you know, that we might live in. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's atmosphere. Well, maybe it is, but you know what? Maybe it's the dome too. You just know proof. Unless you're up there to actually witness it yourself, how are you gonna know? Right?
And why is there Buddhist maps that show the Arctic wall, and then it shows like 60 or 70 more islands past that wall? Right? Have you heard of this before?
No, I actually haven't.
Yeah,
so lost me there for a second because
there's these old ancient Buddhist maps that surface, like just old maps that actually shows an Arctic wall surrounding the world we know, and then there's more world beyond that world.
I believe it, dude. See, and that can even tie into what you were saying.
Where did they get that from?
Another dimension, dude. Maybe not another dimension, but like
it still could be
portal
Earth.
to another world. No,
right?
Maybe it's the same world, just undiscovered part of the Earth,
or maybe discovered by other beings. You know, maybe we're there.
Which is a little off topic, but my point to go tie in with that is aliens, bro. Like what if there's an extraterrestrial, or not even that? Maybe it's not even an alien. Maybe it's another form of humans we haven't even seen yet. We don't understand, and we're just label an alien. You know what I mean?
If this conversation makes you uncomfortable, that's something you should really look deep inside your soul.
I agree.
As to why you're afraid of this. Why are you afraid to hear this? Why does this make you mad? Why are you angry?
Yes. No.
You mad, bro?
No.
Right? Like what?
No. I want to tie into what you just said. This kind of topic does scare people, bro.
You
know what it does? It shakes. I'll tell you why.
They will do anything they can to protect the Matrix.
No, I was going to tell you why. They don't want the reality shaken. Let's be honest. You're so used to reality, you don't want it shaken. You know what's crazy? I just had this conversation with my sister. Shout out to my sister. No names disclosed. She knows who she is. I had this conversation with her on Sunday. I believe it was, or was it Sunday? Whatever. It doesn't matter. It was this weekend, right? And we were talking about a movie we just watched. We just saw Annihilation, which, by the way, it's a pretty good movie, dude. It'll make you think. I think you'll like it. You'll appreciate it. Check it out, dude. It's called with Natalie Portman. Shout out to the producers of that. The guy that directed Ex Machina, another good movie. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
He directed this one. It's called Annihilation. Well, we sparked a conversation between my sister and me, and we were talking about that. We have people's reality being shaken. and how sometimes some of these conversations that we have when it comes to stuff like this, it'll shake the reality so much they don't want to believe it. They're fearful of it being a possibility because they're so used to how their life is that you start presenting ideas that might be different out of the box. No, I don't want to hear it. No, that can't be real because of this. And no. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to accept that as a possibility, right? You know why? Because it shakes the reality. And then how does it tie into the Matrix? Remember the scene where Morpheus was telling Neo, I'm going to paraphrase because I forgot what it says line for line, but he's like, we have a rule that after a mind reaches a certain age, we don't awake it. We don't awake it from the Matrix because it might be too much for the mind to accept.
Right. As
a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe a lie my whole life.
Totally.
They might lose their mind from it. Do you remember that when Morpheus tells him that?
Yeah.
He's like, we took a chance with you because we feel like you're the chosen one, right? They tell him all that stuff, blah, blah. Sorry, spoilers for those who haven't seen The Matrix, but there is a scene where he tells him that. And you see what I'm saying, right? It's almost the same thing here.
Yeah, if you haven't seen The Matrix yet,
yeah, there's something wrong with you. You need to watch that fucking movie, obviously, clearly, for obvious reasons. But anyway, you see what I'm saying, though? Isn't it true? It's like they don't like the reality shaking. It's a perfect example because you might lose your mind thinking, fuck, but I believe this for so many years. How is this possible?
That's a good point you brought that up. There's an epidemic happening right now where there's a lot of people out there getting really depressed because they're researching this information and they're learning what's really out there.
And it's scaring them.
And it's so scary that
they're going fear of the unknown,
right? Boom. Then this is not this is like what word I'm looking for? Like this is like some sort of
epidemic.
Thank you. Epidemic, right? This is like an epidemic that's going through our culture right now, where people are getting deeply depressed because they're finding out all this information.
Yeah,
the world powers know this is happening.
You do.
And it's against the agenda,
and they want to box it.
That's why it's getting suppressed.
Yes,
that's why it's getting made fun of. When you hear about this quote-unquote flat Earth society and you start researching it, there were like 100 members back in the 70s. They all got wiped out, dude.
Yeah.
They all got murdered.
Fuck. For disclosing this information or even researching it.
Just because they existed.
Looking into it. That's crazy.
They existed.
Dude. That's a trip.
Right. And then if you look into it, they all like just got wiped out.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's, little eyebrow raising right there.
No, it is an eyebrow raiser for sure because it's like one of those things where it's like, well, why are they being silenced? Maybe they were onto something. Maybe there's some truth in this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, we can go on forever about it. But we're getting around that time now. So
I like to end with an original ArmShark proverb.
All right, let's go. Yeah, you know what, guys? We actually spoke about this off the record earlier, and he has a few good ones. So I think from time to time we're gonna end the show with a couple of his personal, proverbs that he comes up with. Go ahead, ArmShark, lay it on him.
If true love is rare, then hate is well done.
Whoa, let that marinate for a while.
Oh, I love it. Go.
I love it,
Marination, dude.
Marinate.
Dogs
let that
like
stir the
raw
pot.
meat, dude.
Wait, what?
Dogs like raw meat.
Oh, God. I don't even want to see where you're going with this one, man. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and throw those plugs in there just so you guys know an update on everything. Right now, we're on SoundCloud. We're going to get into a few other streaming workers right now. We're in the process right now of getting our podcast uploaded to all the other streaming platforms. So for those of you that are bearing with us, we appreciate it. Keep tuning into SoundCloud for now, but we're actually within the next few weeks or so we're going to get into everything else, Spotify, Tidal, etc. And obviously you guys already know about the clothing line coming up soon. Right now I don't have anything to update on that matter. It's in the same place, but we're building on that. And again, thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us. We appreciate you. God bless you.
Later.